はい、皆さんこんにちは、たまきです。今日は久しぶりに、学校に来てるんですけど、何をしに来たかというと、一人のアートの学部の友達が卒業制作の展示を行っているので、それを見に来ました。では行きたいと思います。
Hi, my name is Jay. Yes, I'm an interdisciplinary artist. I was born in Korea, came here probably like when I was about 12. I grew up doing art. My father was a painter. My mother was also an artist. I guess that's sort of how I got into art, but I work in expressionism, or I like to call them 0.5 expressionism. And this is my BFA thesis exhibition. It's about identity, connection, and value structure. More specifically, my ethnic identity and the two conflicting value structures of Korean culture and American culture, and my connection to the Korean culture and the American culture as a consequence of my immigration experience as a 1.5 generation Korean American. As an immigrant, I think there's a constant conflict between the two cultures because they have different value systems. When you're forced to choose between the two, I think there's always a repercussion in the form of you're too American or you're not American enough. Learning to find a balance, learning to be able to think for myself and create my own value structure, just put those things together to understand who I am as a person. So I'm using ethnic identity as a symbol to really just address identity just in general, because it's not exclusive to immigrant experience. I think this is just human experience in general. I think everybody kind of goes through this struggle, learning, finding different value structures, and developing your own value system and understanding your identity. So that's what this artist is all about. The highest priority for my art is to make an authentic and honest expression based on my subjective perspective. Being a Korean American heavily influences my perspective. It almost happens unconsciously, the way I view the world and the way I interpret my experience. And because I'm making an art that is about making genuine and honest expression, the expressions that I make are obviously going to be based on the Korean American perspective. They're all related. Duct tape, the gray wall, and this style, they all have a similar meaning, which is honest and authentic expression. So there's this ideal art attitude or spirit of art that I kind of like. One of my professors told me a couple years back, and I kind of expanded on it, which is art should invite creativity, expand possibilities, and encourage genuine expression. Because a big part of my art is for me to make authentic connection with the audience. I think in order for me to make an authentic connection, I need to be honest in my expression. And the reason why those things are all related is because I'm trying to fight traditionalism. After studying art for many, many years, I have accumulated all this much knowledge about how I'm supposed to install my art, how I'm supposed to make art, how I'm supposed to write the artist statement and the artist bio. And I'm thinking, well, maybe, those are all important things, but maybe are they unconsciously affecting my choices? Is it really my choice, or is it just accumulation of knowledge that's kind of like making me choose those things unconsciously? I'm trying to imagine, like, what would I make if I never learned art? If I stayed a child, what would I make? Because then, I'm not really worried about rules. if you're a child. You're just doing it for the fun of it, right? So that's what I was trying to do. And the gray wall is the cement walls back in Korea. As a child, that was the typical landscape of the houses. A lot of them didn't have any paint over it. And I really like that because the cement wall was very honest. Nobody put anything on top of it. It was just being what it is. Something being not educated or not influenced in any way. Same thing with the duct tape. Somebody told me, actually 2 semesters ago here, said don't use duct tape. It's bad for the wall. Okay, I'll use duct tape. It's like, don't tell me what to do with art, you know? Even though I might sound like I rebel against school, which I do a lot, I think it's extremely important to get proper art education. And like you said, there is, of course, a chance or a possibility that you could make the most amazing art without having gone to school. That's possible, you know. There's no guarantee that just because you go to school, you're gonna make good art. But I think it's very important in a sense that there's a couple reasons. One is because Jordan Peterson, again, he said, if you want to learn about a particular topic, then read about what the experts have said about that particular topic, right? Because knowledge accumulates over time, it builds over time. Like, you can't start from scratch. You have to learn what's already out there. And school is basically a place where teachers put all the best things together for you. So you don't have to do the research. Being in school is one of the best things that I did. I'm carving out a specific amount of time out of my life to dedicate myself in learning about this particular thing that I'm really passionate about, right? This opportunity is like so rare. It's also very good to be around like-minded people that are in the same interest and same passion as you. So school is a place where you could meet, like I met you here. Those passion, I feel like they're contagious. So if I'm around people that are super passionate, then I get motivated, I get inspired. But if I'm just like, that's why I hate, like, this Corona thing sucks. Because, like, I'm trying to make art at home by myself. And it's, a lot of times, actually, it's very hard. There is certain level of satisfaction. It's not like ha-ha fun, right? You know, I talked about art being fun and being meaningful, but it doesn't mean it's easy. You know, there are times when you don't want to do it and you have to force yourself to do it. When you hit those struggles, being around teachers who are mentors that have already experienced those similar struggles, they can help you to get through those struggles, even though I do have questions as to like if this is unconsciously like changing my aesthetic flavor or whatever. I have a couple. I like Basquiat. I think it's very evident Basquiat influence. And I like Jeff Koons and Murakami. Those are my favorite artists. Basquiat, because of his aesthetics, something that left a really huge impression on me when I first came to America was street art. I had never seen anything like that in Korea because I grew up in a countryside cabbage farm village in Korea. So when I first came to America, it was a huge culture shock. Very first saw Basquiat, I didn't like it. I was like, what is this, you know? It looks like kid drew it. But, you know, as even just changing my philosophy about art, his art is very raw, honest, authentic, and it looks very primitive. Like it doesn't look influenced at all. And then the reason why I like Murakami and Koons is the conceptual aspect of it, which is Murakami's trying to blur the distinction between pop culture and the high art, right? He's trying to like flip it or trying to merge the two, the super flat movement. I think he's trying to change the idea about what art is, or how people perceive art, right? And I agree. Like, I think art should be approached very lightheartedly. It doesn't have to be like so complex and intelligent and, you know, a lot of philosophy and art. I think art should be just fun. If you like it, you like it. You don't, that's okay. That's what Jeff Koons is doing too, right? He's trying to make art that is easy for people to approach. It doesn't have to be hard. But I like making food analogies because art, I feel like, is food for the soul. When I first had Japanese food, I didn't like it. art is useless, it's a waste of time, I don't get it, right? Which is fine, it's okay. But when I make art, it's fun. I think it makes my life interesting. That I keep including these symbols in my art rather than some other symbols. When you understand why, it will help you to understand your value structure and to understand your personality traits.